Hello everyone and welcome to another training video. Because it will be a little bit difficult at first to fly the helicopter, that's the main thing you should be doing, and also talk over the radio. A good way to practice this is to be talking on the unicom frequency 122.8. You can fly closed traffic patterns so that you can practice talking over the radio without really having to ask ATC for clearances, without ATC giving you instructions, but you are still talking over the radio in case you are flying in an area where there are other pilots in the area. You might hear them too. So it's a good way, and I can even say a relaxed way to train how to talk over the radio. Now of course I'm connected to that sim, and I suppose you already know by now everything about flying helicopters, traffic patterns and all that. I remember there are something like 58 sessions prior to this one, so I'm not going to repeat things I've already covered in previous training sessions. So I will assume you can fly your helicopter because now you are practicing advanced stuffs like ATC. You understand traffic patterns, left traffic pattern, right traffic pattern and all that. I'm not going to get into details about these things. I'm just going to explain how we're going to practice talking over the radio. So as you can see here, connected to that sim, and here are a few things of course that you need to take into consideration. So first we are going to input the VFR code based on the location you are. Here I'm in South Africa, so it's going to be 7600. Okay, and in case this was off or whatever, make sure it's on. The code is probably 1200 for you or whatever it is. Here in South Africa it's going to be 7600 and alt. That's what mode C is. That's the first step. Second step is of course the COM. You need to put it on 122.8. okay, so let me just zoom in a little bit better. So it's going to be 122.8. the 0.8 is taken care of. There it is, 122.8. make sure it is the active one and you are transmitting on COM1. okay, and anyway in this helicopter you have only COM1 and NAV1. That's very important. The proper VFR transponder code and the proper frequency. Okay, now that you have tuned in the frequency, any pilot at or close to the area transmitting on that frequency, you will hear them and they will hear you. So now let's get a few basic things on the ground so that we don't have to explain them once we are flying. When talking on the unicom frequency, you need to announce at which traffic you are talking to. Like here we are at Saldanha Airport, so we are going to be saying Saldanha traffic, so that any other helicopters or airplanes or any pilot in the area know that you are at the airport or around the airport. So it's going to be the airport name and then traffic. So Saldanha traffic, Banning Muni traffic, Wonderboom traffic, whatever airport you are at. And then of course you're going to identify yourself by saying your call sign, and this time you have to use the full call sign every time. Okay, you can't abbreviate to only the last three characters. It's either alphabet or numbers depending on your call sign. Here you have to use your full call sign every time. So my call sign is going to be helicopter Zulu Sierra Sierra Papa Charlie, whatever your call sign is. And then your location. Here I'm at ramp 11. At ramp 11, what are your intentions? Taxiing to runway 20, taxiing to runway 27, taxiing to runway 07, whatever it is you're going to do. Okay, and it's going to follow that structure as you are flying. Okay, when you're taking off, Saldanha traffic, helicopter Zulu Sierra Sierra Papa Charlie, taking off, runway 20. And now when we will be flying, the traffic pattern, we will be announcing left closed traffic. It means a left traffic pattern, and the closed means we will remain in the traffic pattern. Okay, in case you want to make touch and goes and keep staying in the traffic pattern. So here I'm just going to announce closed traffic, left closed traffic for practice. But of course, in order not to make this video too long, because we are just practicing the communication here, I will then make a full stop landing. And of course, when we will be on final, we will be announcing full stop landing or touch and go or whatever your intentions are. And I'm gonna also announce each leg. So when I take off, I'm climbing to my altitude and I'm going to make my first turn. It's going to be left crosswind. So Saldanha traffic, helicopter Zulu Sierra Sierra Papa Charlie is turning left crosswind, runway 20, so that they know the other runway is runway 02. Left downwind runway 20 is not the same as a left downwind runway 02. They are not going to place you at the proper location, more or less. So you have to say turning left crosswind, turning left downwind, turning left base, and then the runway. So in our case, turning left crosswind, runway 20. If you are already at your altitude, for example, here we will be climbing at 700 feet. At 700 feet, if you are not there yet, maybe you are at 400 feet, so you will announce at 400 feet, climbing 700 feet, so you understand how it works. But most of the time you will already be at your altitude, unless maybe you want to practice auto rotation and you want to climb higher, then probably you will be still climbing. Okay, so once you are on, usually I will fly racetrack pattern, but here just for the training purposes, I'm gonna fly the rectangular one. So after the crosswind, you have downwind. So once again, I'm gonna announce a left downwind, my altitude, and so on, left base, and turning left final. And when we will be on final, then I will announce Saldanha traffic, helicopter Zulu Sierra Sierra Papa Charlie on final, runway 20 for full stop landing. Okay, so I gave those explanations while we are still on the ground, so that when we will be flying, it will be easier for you to follow, and of course clear of the runway once you are clear of the runway, etc. So of course you have to make sure that you have checked the weather here. So here, let me show you still, in case you are like here, the Saldanha. Okay, altitude correspond, already set the altimeter. We get this information here. Whichever simulator you're using, you can get this information too. Wind, light and variable, and VFR is 20, and that's the runway we are going to be using. Okay, so now we are going to be starting the flight. And remember, it's going to be a traffic pattern, and then we'll come to a full stop. Another thing, when pressing the push to talk button, typically the trigger of your stick, you want to press it maybe a few seconds, 1 second before you start talking. Okay, now you're not going to see my hands, but I'm gonna not press it but simulate. I press the button, wait 1 second, and then Saldanha traffic, helicopter Zulu Sierra Sierra Papa Charlie is at ramp 11, taxiing to runway 20. I wait another second, and then I release the push to talk button. Okay, so that you are sure the beginning and the ending of your radio call is not cut. Very important, otherwise you might hear helicopter Zulu Sierra Sierra Papa Charlie, say again. So you want to avoid those kind of situations. So now let's get to the flying. So now, of course, every time I press the push to talk button, I have to be careful what I'm saying, because other people might be on the frequency and in the vicinity too. And anytime I'll hear a call, I will stop talking if I was explaining things. So here we go, ready for the flight. Saldanha traffic, helicopter Zulu Sierra Sierra Papa Charlie is at ramp 11, taxiing to runway 20. Sure, clear. Now when actually hover taxiing, it's gonna be a little bit difficult to look left, look right, because you don't feel what the helicopter is doing. So you might lose your helicopter. So if you can do it, fine. If you cannot, don't kind of pay too much attention to that. It is a flight simulator anyway, but still here I can already see nothing here. Saldanha traffic, helicopter Zulu Sierra Sierra Papa Charlie is entering runway 20. Yeah, also nothing. Just in case someone is not communicating on the radio, it happened to me. A big plane, I was on final, overflew me and landed. Just like that. Saldanha traffic, helicopter Zulu Sierra Sierra Papa Charlie is taking off runway 20, left close the traffic. My Italian accent was about to kick in suddenly. 20. Anyway. And by the way, if you have questions in French or Italian, you can ask, because I tend to speak only English in my videos, but anyway. You can ask questions in French and Italian if you need. So here I'm just upwind, and once again, priority is flying the helicopter. That's the #1 priority. If you need to stop talking, if you were talking to a controller, you need to stop talking for a moment, stop talking. And then when you get back to him, you apologize. I'm sorry, I was having a few issues with the helicopter. So say again, repeat your last transmission or whatever. So now we are going to turn. We are at our altitude. Saldanha traffic, helicopter Zulu Sierra Sierra Papa Charlie is at 700 feet, turning left crosswind, runway 20. So turning left crosswind right now, runway 20, so they know more or less where they should position me. And there it is. Of course you have to know your traffic pattern. So now I'm on left crosswind, keep flying the helicopter, and usually I will fly a racetrack pattern, but here just for the example. So once again, Saldanha traffic, helicopter Zulu Sierra Sierra Papa Charlie is at 700 feet, turning left downwind, runway 20. Take your time, slowly, you know, since you're not communicating directly to someone, that's why I say it's a good way to practice both flying the helicopter and communicating over the radio. Especially when you will be around, you know, the airport area, because you don't want to crash, crash into another pilot's plane or helicopter. So you want to make sure you are able to fly your helicopter and talk to what will be ATC controllers. Then here we are just talking on the unicom. It's a very good way to practice a few traffic patterns, or even flights from uncontrolled airport to uncontrolled airport. So that those trees there is an indication of where the runway threshold is. So a few more seconds here, and then I will turn left base. There you are. So once again, all those things have been covered in previous training videos. So there I go for my announcement. Saldanha traffic, helicopter Zulu Sierra Sierra Papa Charlie is at 700 feet, turning left base, runway 20. And now I'm already gonna start my descent. Remember, number one priority, fly your helicopter. Saldana traffic, helicopter Zulu Sierra Sierra Papa Charlie is turning final, runway 20 for full stop landing. And by the way, I'm in the G2 Cabri. Very good helicopter for training purposes. This and the Robinson R22, whichever you prefer. This one is a right power pedal helicopter, the R22 a left power pedal helicopter, so that's why I have both. Saldana traffic, helicopter Zulu Sierra Sierra Papa Charlie is on the final, runway 20 for full stop landing. So once again, remember, you press the push to talk button, something like 1 second before you talk, you wait 1 second and then you release. I don't know if you hear when I am pressing and releasing the push to talk button. I will try to push it firmly now so that you probably can hear. Now I'm still getting used to that helicopter. Like I said, it's the right power pedal. Now I'm gonna announce that I'm clear of the runway. I will firmly push it. Saldana traffic, helicopter Zulu Sierra Sierra Papa Charlie is clear of the runway, taxiing to ramp 11. Like I said, it's a right power pedal helicopter. Still need to get used to those types of helicopters. So there we go. And of course, instead of full stop landing, what you could have done is you saw where I vacated the runway, but here you can just raise the collective and take off and announce, because you announce touch and go. It's on your helicopter, you don't really have to touch down on the runway. So you can just keep going instead of turning where I turn. You keep going and then take off, announce you're taking off, and then rinse and repeat, which I highly recommend. It will allow you to learn how to both concentrate on the flying, respecting altitude, climb speed and all that, traffic patterns, legs, situational awareness, where I am. I'm on left downwind, don't announce I'm on crosswind. Know your traffic pattern stuff and all that. So yeah, and it's a very, very nice helicopter, by the way, B Skylab G2 Cabri, in case you're interested. So with this and the Robinson R22, you can't go wrong. You have everything you need to learn how to fly helicopters. And once again, remember, I will always recommend light and twitchy helicopters. So there you are. This is a very, very good way to practice flying your helicopter and talking on the radio, so that when you will be talking to actual controllers, you will be able to do it in a much better way. Anyway, I hope you find this video helpful. If you do, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel, and I will see you in another video. Until then, take care. Bye bye.